All right, time for another one of our back tests. Right now we're focusing on May performance, last month's performance. This is on Vantage Forex Signals free channel. They do have a VIP channel, which is looks like they're running a special, $100, whatever. Um, but of course, it would be nice to find out whether or not that channel was even remotely profitable before you spend the money on it, right? I mean, who wants to waste $100 to find out if it's not good? Um, Overall, just looking at the signal format, it's pretty good. There's a few things that they do that I find to be irritating. This right here, yeah, how many channels use this specific meme? Like 4 or 5 that we've found. So we're going to assume that they're tied together. Um, anyway, let's see if we can find a signal, and we'll talk about signal format. All the payouts that they claim to make, I really don't believe any of that stuff. Um, where are we? Signal format. Here we go. Signal format. If you watched yesterday's video, remember that I talked about this exact thing where, and we see this on a lot of channels, where they'll give sort of this initial signal, gold buy now, and then they'll give the full signal, right? And the thing is that if you're using a copier, like most people want to do, a copier will treat this as a signal, even though it doesn't have a target price. So you got to screen this out, and you can watch yesterday's video if you want to see how I talked about screening these things out in a copier and how a copier functions, what it looks for as the messages pass through the software, how the software sees what's a signal, like what conditions make it think that that's a signal, right? So you want to avoid false positives like this, right? This is annoying. I don't understand why signal providers do that. It just seems dumb to me. However, you can set this up to ignore this, but set the copier up to ignore it. So remember what I talked about yesterday. You got sort of 3 elements that you want to be mindful of with any kind of copier, and one is the signal itself, and one is edits, right? Edits that come in the form of replies, and then replies that are just chatter and things that would cause false positives like this. So we talked about how to set that up, how to avoid, how to screen that stuff out, the unwanted stuff. So anyway, let's talk about the test results. And if this is your first time watching, we do the same exact test every single time we run a test. We just want to look at the signal itself. So we don't do any kind of trailing stop loss. We don't do any kind of signal edits, nothing. We just want to know how are the signals doing, because we don't want to curve fit. We don't want to, if you want to try to trade that way when you're copying a channel, that's different than, what is the metric that's used for test results. So that's why we chose that path. And we can see in this particular case, it did about $405, which is about 4.05, almost 4.06% for the month. And this is our equity curve, which, isn't lovely, but I've seen worse. And the important thing is, whether or not it's profitable in the long term. So we can see our entries by hours, a lot of Europe, a lot of US, a lot of volume on the early morning US session. Not a whole lot on Asia this past month. Entries by months, May, of course. Here's our statistical scatter plot, our scattering of wins on this side of the line, and then the losses on this side, right? We can see our average holding time. 10 seconds is the smallest amount. And then we go all the way up to Yeah, average position holding time of about 51 minutes, right? Maximum about 12 hours. And I think mostly they just trade gold, this particular channel. In fact, I'm pretty sure that that's all they trade. Oh, wait, no, there's some currency pairs. This particular channel, I mean, like if you look at it, it says they have 852,000 subscribers. I mean, that may be real, but it could also be very easily faked. So who knows if that's a real number of subscribers. Yeah. So I would say that we were, the outcome for this channel, I didn't have a real high expectation. And I felt like I was a little bit surprised by it. But yeah, it is available in our database, multiple.ai. You can sign up as an early adopter because we just launched about a week and a half ago. As far as pricing goes, if you use the coupon code LAUNCH70, you will get 70% off of the subscription price. And I think we're going to run that for about 30 days. We're getting ready to actually send out an email to people that are on the Telegram FX Copier email list. But you guys are hearing about it first here. So we've had pretty pleased at the response so far. We think that this is something that's real needed in the copy trading world because it feels like there's just a lot of fluff and hype and not really a whole lot of solid strategy, because you can make money doing this if you know what you're doing, right? So this is kind of one of the tools that we'd like to provide the community. So anyway, I appreciate your time. Thanks so much for watching.